I was able to save $100,000 by 21, and the reason I was able to do this was because of
knowledge.
And you should buy my course, link will be down below in the description. Just kidding, but the real reason I was able to save $100,000 by age 21 was because I got lucky. Now hold on, before you click off this video and write me off because I'm just an idiot, just hear me out for a second. Now, for the sake of full transparency, I've got to give credit where credit's due. Mr. and Mrs. LaFerrier helped me out so much in my teenage years, coming up through high school and through college, that I just got a huge head start in the world, and that's why I was able to amass this big of a sum by such an early age. I mean, when I was in high school, my parents told me even to not get a job because they'd rather have me focus on schoolwork and getting into a good college than spending a couple hours making minimum wage at some crappy job. And you know what I did? I got a crappy job stocking groceries at Walmart. And during my senior year, I worked part-time, like 20 hours a week, and I was able to save about $4,000 just from stocking groceries in those 6 months. I also drove a family car, so I didn't have to worry about buying one of those. And my grandparents, along with my parents, helped pay for my entire college tuition. And so I didn't have to save up and pay for that either, which was a massive help. I get it. A lot of you aren't gonna have that situation, but keep watching and I'm sure you'll come out with a couple of pointers to help you even cash flow your college. And maybe to help you guys out with that, I actually made a video of exactly how much money my college cost me throughout my 3 years getting my computer science degree. And so I'll leave a link below in the description to that video if you guys want to go check that out. All right, with all that said, let's actually get into how I was able to save up 6 figures this quick. The first reason's gotta be I prioritized it. Now this kind of seems like common sense, but let me tell you, saving this much money that quickly doesn't just happen. You have to actually make decisions and act on those decisions in order for this to become a reality. And you'll see this is kind of the overarching theme behind my later points in the video. And so if you really want to save up 6 figures by an early age, you've got to prioritize it. The next thing is that I learned how to invest, and this was a major factor in helping grow my money at a quicker rate than I could just save it myself. Now, learning how to invest was a crucial step in order to help me grow my money, but it also was a ton of fun for me. Just learning how you can have your money make you more money without even having to lift a finger is just like a wild concept, and it really lit a fire beneath me in order to get as much money working for me as possible. Now, investing in simple terms is the art of having your money make you more money without you having to work for it. An analogy that I commonly like to use is that each dollar that you have invested is kind of like a little worker that goes out and works for you and then makes you money without you actually having to work. Or if that analogy didn't hit, each dollar could be like a little seed that you plant in the ground and then you let it grow, and this tree will produce you more money, if that makes sense. Investing is actually like a real world shortcut to saving money quickly that you hear all these finance gurus talking about on the internet, but this one's real.
It is a totally legit, 100% legit thing that you can start doing right now to start earning hundreds of thousands of dollars of weekly passive income within 1 day after following this advice.
Now, my third point is that I used my free time efficiently. Now, this was especially the case while I was at college, and I got my degree in computer science, and I know computer science isn't the most demanding degree, but it's also not the least demanding degree. And so I know from personal experience that a full-time college student is anything but full-time. There is so much time in the day, just that a lot of it gets wasted. And I'm guilty of this too. Heck, if I didn't spend so much time wasting on my phone in the morning just because I didn't want to get up quite yet, heck, this video would be called How I Saved $200,000 or $300,000 by 21 instead of 100. Now, no one's perfect and everybody's gonna waste a bunch of time in their life, but I'm gonna give you guys a couple examples of what I did so you just know that you can do it too, and it's possible to use your time efficiently even if you've got a lot of things going on. I was a full-time college student and I actually didn't have a job my freshman and sophomore year of college, but as soon as those summer months hit and you got that 3-month summer vacation break, I worked my ass off. The summer after my freshman year, I actually picked up 3 part-time jobs and worked them all simultaneously. And I ended up working about 50 to 60 hours a week, depending on the week. And I also went back home, lived with my parents for the 3 months, and I kept my expenses to dirt cheap. And I was able to save every single penny that I made that summer. And I think that totaled around somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000 in those 3 months. And then the following summer, after my sophomore year, I got an internship to go use my computer science degree. And that was a standard 8 to 5, 40-hour-a-week internship. And then I also was a delivery driver on the side. And that was like another 20 plus hours every single week. So I was working on average like 65 hours a week. And that summer was an absolute grind, but an absolute blast at the same time. I think I made about $25,000 in that just those 3 months during summer vacation. So when people say that it's not possible to save up a lot of money quickly, they just think you're lying. Like you can definitely do it. You just gotta pull the right strings and put the work in, and it's definitely possible. And then my junior year, I actually started working during the school year, and I continued my job that I had during my internship that last summer, and I worked about 15 hours a week just in between classes whenever I could get the time in, and I saved up a little bit of money doing that as well. And even working part-time along with going to school full-time, I still had a ton of free time to hang with friends and hang out with roommates and do a bunch of activities. So you definitely can squeeze in a little bit of work here and there and not be too overwhelmed. Now, number 4 is I spent frugally. I don't know, you guys get the point. Now, maybe some people would call me cheap, but I like to think about it a little bit differently. I think spending money is all about the amount of value you can get from a certain thing and not having it cost too much. Now, here's what I mean by that. For me personally, I drink coffee every single day, probably an unhealthy amount of coffee. And so I would spend plenty of money on a very nice coffee machine that I will be able to use every single day because I think I'll get the value out of that and I won't have to deal with the headaches of it breaking, yada, yada, yada. You get the point. Now, I have to admit, I have a perfectly fine Keurig right now, and it's actually behind me right there. And I got that for free, and it works perfectly fine for me for right now. And so I won't be upgrading my coffee machine until necessary. Another example from my personal life is my sophomore year of college. I actually built a $1,500 PC, but I feel like I was a computer science student, and so I was going to use it anyway. I think it looks badass, and now I use it for editing my videos. So I get plenty of value out of spending money in that way. And then a couple of things I don't get value in. I don't like going out and getting drinks at the bar because, one, they are stupid expensive. It's like $8 a drink. Like who the heck pays for this stuff? And I don't feel like I get value from that. I mean, I can just make the drink at home and hang out and play some board games with some friends, and I have way more fun doing that than going out. And another thing is a new wardrobe. I mean, all of my clothes fit me perfectly fine. I mean, I might not have the best sense of style, but it's okay for me right now, and I don't have to spend money upgrading that when it's not a necessity and it's not important to me. Now, will my priorities change in the future? Of course they will, and I have to adapt to that. But it's all about just finding what you find valuable and spending your money there, and then cutting back expenses on all other things that you just don't find as valuable. All right, as you guys can see by that list, I didn't do anything special or crazy in order to get to where I am today. I want you to see that it's possible for you guys to do exactly what I did. I'm no smarter, better, or superior than anybody watching this video right now. All I did was prioritize this as one of my goals, and I took the right steps in order to do it. And if you guys want the same, I know you guys can too. But with all that, let's wrap this thing up. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and have a great day. Get out of here.